Alright guys, before we hop into the video, I just wanted to shout out the channel really quickly. We are less than 100 subscribers away from 9,000 subscribers. Pretty damn crazy. So more so than ever, if you guys are new, I'd really appreciate the subscribe, trying to hit that 9,000 as soon as possible, and we're trying to hit 10,000 before the end of the year. Anyways, to the topic of today's video. Yesterday was QuakeCon 2018, like the Fallout 76 panel. We learned a lot of information. We learned a lot about the perks, the PvP, the bounty system, all that type of stuff. But what I noticed when they were rolling the perk cards and we're just seeing, what a lot of the perks were going to be in the game, there's actually a perk that pertains to the Bobbleheads. And it made me wonder, for starters, like, what are the Bobbleheads going to do in this game? In Fallout 3 and Fallout 4, it was in the coding for New Vegas, but they never put Bobbleheads into New Vegas. But in Fallout 3 and Fallout 4, they usually increase your stats. Like, if you get any of the special Bobbleheads, they'll increase your special stat by 1 point. Now, with Fallout 3, if you got any of the non-special Bobbleheads, they just increase your skills, whatever skill that pertains to the Bobblehead, by 10 points. Obviously, with Fallout 4, there aren't any skills, so you can still get the special Bobbleheads. They would increase your special stat by 1, which could actually put your special stats to 11, which is pretty interesting. The rest of the Bobbleheads, however, work kind of in an interesting way, almost like perks. Like, if you get any of the weapon-based Bobbleheads, they just increase your critical damage, except for explosives, oddly enough. The explosive one just increases your explosive damage. But if you get any of the non-weapon-based Bobbleheads, like the Barter Bobblehead, for example, it gives you essentially a perk. It just makes your prices better all around. So my question is, what are the Bobbleheads going to do in Fallout 76? Are they just going to be like a collectible item? Are they just to put on display in our settlements? Similar to like our safe houses in Fallout 3, you can put them on display on that machine. And with Fallout 4 in our settlements, you could also build a machine that you can place your Bobbleheads that you find on. Is it just going to be something to show off, or will they actually increase our stats when we find them? Can we find the special Bobbleheads? Can we find Bobbleheads to increase our guns and like damages and stuff like that, or reduce our prices, or whatever the case? With the way the perk system works in this game, if you can find the special Bobbleheads and they increase your special stat by 1 point, that can be very, very powerful, because that's how the perk cards work in this game. Depending on how many points you have in one special stat, it actually determines how many perks you can have from that special stat. And there's also the chance that these special Bobbleheads, if they do this in Fallout 76, could potentially put your special stats to 16. We know they cap out at 15, but in Fallout 4, your special stats cap out at 10, but the special Bobbleheads can actually put them to 11. As for non-special Bobbleheads in 76, I'd assume they'd be something similar to Fallout 4's, again, just increasing the critical damage or something of your weapons, and then the few other ones that are non-weapon based, like the Barter one, for example, again. Ultimately, because this is a multiplayer game, a game that has PvP, things like this are an issue, because these can be very, very powerful. Again, if you can find the special Bobbleheads and give yourself more space for perks, make your weapons stronger with some of the other Bobbleheads, and the other players don't have that yet, that can be an issue. You have an edge over them. Also, something I'm very curious about, because we know Bobbleheads are for sure in this game, are they in set locations, or are they randomly generated somehow? So right here we have the perk card I was talking about, called Perceptive Bobble, and its effect is you hear directional audio when in range of a Bobblehead. And this is why I'm wondering if they're in a set location or if they're somehow randomly generated, because if we know where the Bobbleheads are, like we did with Fallout 3 and Fallout 4, they're in the same location every single time. Why would you ever need to take a perk like this? Like, can you imagine a perk existing in Fallout 3 and Fallout 4 that was like, hey, take this perk and we'll show you where all the Bobbleheads are? I don't need that. I can just Google. I can look up online where every single Bobblehead is. They're in the same location every single time I play the game, so it'd be a waste of a perk. But, however, if they are somehow, and I don't know how, randomized, they randomly generate in different locations or something like that, where you would need a perk like this to be able to find them a lot easier, this becomes a more useful perk. It could also just be a perk that exists because the map is going to be so big. It's 4 times the size, of course, of Fallout 4. We don't know exactly what that means. Is it density? Is it actual map size? Regardless, it's a very big map, so it'll probably be at least a good little while before every Bobblehead is found. It's going to take a while, probably, to explore the entire map and track down every single Bobblehead. So maybe that's why this perk exists. It's a cheap perk. There's no other ranks to it. You don't got to rank it up. It's a 1-cost perception perk. And really quickly, just because this perk exists makes me think that these aren't just collector items. Like, it's not just going to be something that you just get to, like, show off in your settlements, because then that seems like a waste of a perk even more. Like, why would I waste a perk slot, or a perk card, or perk unlock, whatever you want to say, on something that's ultimately just a collector's item? That's just kind of dumb. So really, all I can do is pass the question off to you guys at this point. What do you think the Bobbleheads are going to do in Fallout 76? Are they going to be like they have been so far with the Fallout series, at least with Bethesda games? Are they going to increase our stats when we find them? If they do increase our stats, do you see that as problematic? Or do you think they're going to be just like a collector's item that you can show off in your settlements? Anyways, I thought this was a decent discussion video because up until this point, we didn't know that bobbleheads were even going to be in Fallout 76. And it's not that we thought that they wouldn't be in the game. It's just we never heard anything about bobbleheads. I haven't seen any of the bobbleheads in any of the gameplay. If you watch like some of the camp gameplay and the settlement stuff, we don't see any like bobblehead machines in the background or whatever on display. So I was just watching the conference yesterday. Whenever I seen that perk card pop up, it just caught my attention. I was like, wait a second, that's a perk that's based entirely on bobbleheads. We didn't even know bobbleheads were going to be in the game, so I thought we'd talk about it today. So as always, let me know your thoughts below, and if you guys went on to enjoy the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, turn on notifications, follow me on Twitter at TheDashingDavid, add my Discord, links to my social networks are in the description, and in the outro. Later, guys.
Give me a smile, give me forever for a while, give me forever for a while, quit acting like a baby.